To segue into our next weekend bonanza, there was a Devolver Digital had their showcase as well. What were your just initial thoughts watching that? Because I love these fucking things. They're
Right.
so meta, the way they really just kind of squeeze the balls of the industry and criticize it, and they're able to do that in a way that no one else even tries to do.
I don't feel like they're normally that meta, but that
Mm.
this one was extremely meta. That being said, I don't love the Devolver Digital conferences as much as everyone else does. I don't really particularly like the uh, sort of Adult Swim style humor. Um, but that being said, it's Devolver. Like they gotta do it that way. They
Yeah.
should do it that way to be on brand. That being said, if you didn't know, not only Devolver is a game publisher, they're also a film publisher. And they publish
I
a
just
lot
learned
of
that recently, right? Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
and they whipped out their acting and editing and filming chops on this one. They went ham.
Yep.
Personally, my favorite one of all time. Super meta on the whole. Like, people are like the hype of a game more than they like the game itself, which is fucking true.
Yeah.
And so we're dealing with the anti-hype by releasing that game. And yeah, the games, they weren't that many, but they looked really good. The performances were top fucking notch.
Which I wanted to say, so the main host, I forget her name, she's like the main character and kind of represents these Devolver Digital events, but she has that one-shot scene. I think it's her where she's introducing Devolver Land or whatever that ended up being called.
Yeah.
She's introducing that, and she has like the tears rolling down her eyes. It's all one shot, and it's just a nuts performance. I mean,
Yeah.
just kudos to her. That was fucking awesome.
Those tears were intense too. You could you could you could feel those things pump out of her
And she
tear
got
duct.
both of them too. Like, I understand
Yeah.
sometimes people do the one. She got both tears, one shot. This huge monologue. You can't fuck that up. I mean, she's a boss, dude. It was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just everyone in that was spectacular. The plot was good. I don't know how you top that next year. Um
There wasn't a little like a teaser because they kind of ended the last series of them with like some kind of intro into something else crazy going on. And this
Sure.
one they didn't really end it that way, but I found it interesting. But either way, I mean, yeah, I was blown away, and that's what I come to these events now more or less so for the announcements and more for just like the the crazy shit that goes on.
Right. Right. And then there was the Devolver, I forget what it's called, Devolver Land Expo or whatever it
Yeah.
was, where you get to go into the building, which you said was crashing on your computer, which sucks. Go ahead.
They announced today too that they're tweaking it, they're updating it because I guess other people were experiencing some kind of problem with it.
Okay.
It kept crashing for me as well, but they are working on that because I do want to jump in and experience that. How did you like cruising the little show floor that they had?
It was great. That was really fun. There's just enough gaminess into it. Like it's not hard. Like you just shoot the things with your t-shirt cannon to stop them from stopping you. So yeah, it's not hard, but that's just enough gaminess to kind of keep your brain going and keep you fun. And you're going around these gorgeous, like, I don't know how long they've been working on this for.
Yeah.
This is the team that works on Shadow Warrior Flying Wild Hogs. And man, the quality is great. The graphics are insane. And then you get to go along, like the file size is big, that's for damn sure. But because it's packing in these are high definition trailers. I don't know if they're 4K or what they were. But what a phenomenal way to get me excited for your game. And yeah, there was cool, like some of these, they were like, where we were getting trailers before, you get like developers talking over it, like especially what is it, the Weird West or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a really cool, like talking about all the systems and neat things that are going to be in that game. It's got me super hyped now. That seems like somehow someone fused Breath of the Wild with Fallout in the Wild West with magic.
Yeah.
And that's hot. That's fucking hot. Like you can kill off characters and that will change the story, or they'll come back later and try and get revenge if somebody in that party survives.
That's cool.
It's got the whole like element system and all these systemic things. Like this game, because it's not that pretty, they can just go ham on everything else.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, would you, it's safe to say that was the one you're most excited about from the events, like that Weird West?
Yeah, specifically after that trailer, that sold me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and they showed off Weird West. They went to depth on that. There was a Carry On. That was a big one for me. Carry On, where you're this red amorphous blob that's just fucking wreaking havoc in this like scientific lab. I
Right.
loved it. It's so gory, and I love the thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. I'm a huge fan of that movie, and there's elements in that trailer where you're just like taking over scientists and exploding them from within, and there's these little like string effects going on, and just it's so gory and awesome. Man, that one's definitely what I took away from. I'm super excited for that, and that's very soon. It's July 23rd on that.
Yeah, that's coming out super soon. Looks better than it ever has
Mm,
in previous ones, and there's nothing like that out there.
no,
Absolutely nothing. What else do they cover? By the way, do you cover Nintendo at all in this?
I did not. I've been so like going over these two big events that I didn't realize Nintendo they had their direct, right? I'm not sure what they focused on in that
Yeah,
direct.
they did their treehouse. Nobody reported on it, so I don't know if anything happened. The only thing I want to say is like there's that new Paper Mario that comes out like Friday.
Are you
Um,
serious?
yeah,
Whoa, it's super under the radar, but that's a
yeah,
huge release.
yeah. It's got me worried that they're not amping it up,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
yeah,
Is it the not the Origami King? That's an older one. That is the new one. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
that's coming up.
that's
But
that's
as
good.
far as the other stuff on the Devolver, they had Fall Guys, which that one didn't really call out to me, but I guess people are stoked for that. That's
Oh,
that
I'm
cartoony looking.
so excited for that, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's. I mean, it's like Wipeout, which I think all of us want to participate in the game show Wipeout. So it's like Wipeout, but now 60 players are doing it all at once. And from a networking perspective, how the fuck did they pull that off? That is so much networked collision, and that's super hard.
Now it's
Physics,
50 people.
60,
60. Damn. Okay. Wow. I
all
didn't realize that.
crammed together. That's hard to network,
Yeah,
and
for
they
sure.
somehow have this working. So there's that. Like it just looks like a big dumb fun thing where you can get together and compete.
Yeah.
Lovely, fucking lovely.
Yeah, you're right. And there's so much physics involved. That's got to be hard to like make it run under the hood. But that the footage looked like it was running fine. And yeah, that one maybe it's a more like a sneaky kind of thing that I'll find fun. It just wasn't. I didn't realize that it was a thing or it wasn't on my radar. And maybe
Sure.
once I get my hands on it. But no, it's cute as hell. It's cartoony and it does look fun. But yeah, I'm anxious to see what people think of it.
Yeah. I bet you'll like it. I know you said it's not on your radar, but I bet like we get together, we get some beers, and we're just like laughing at the fact that we got launched off the fucking planet by some weird squirrely do and then rooting for the other person and try and make it to the end. Like
Right.
I think it'll be fun. It's gonna be big dumb fun. There's never been anyone who's been able to do this before, so it's pretty cool. That's another there's nothing else like this one.
Yeah, no, for sure. There was some other stuff. We got Serious Sam, got a story trailer, which I thought was interesting. But also, what was really cool was to see because when they first announced it, it was being promoted as coming to Stadia first, which I think that's still the case. But now it's being promoted as Stadia and PC, and I think it's within the same window, or if not the same date. So I feel like they kind of rolled that back. It's not just for Stadia; it's for PC within a very short window. So it's not just locked to Stadia as we thought it was in the past.
Oh, strange. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened behind the scenes why that decision was made, but I'm glad because I'd want to play this on PC and not Stadia. I think.
I think the thing that's disappointing to me with that game is so the graphics aren't very good. They're good enough, but and they showed that they can put like basically like 1,000 enemies on screen at once. So like I thought that's why the graphics weren't that great. So you could
Hmm.
pump way more enemies on the screen. But that being said, you even had that technology back in like Gears of War 2 with I forget what it's called, instancing, where you can just have tons and tons and tons of the same character model on screen.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going with this. Like fill that screen with just bad guys and mow them down, or I don't know.
Well, even Days Gone did that recently. That zombie
Yeah.
PS4 title. There's a ton of enemies on screen, and this one, yeah, they're doing a lot of enemies, but not as much as I guess like you would imagine. I did notice the trailer seemed a little bit like the frame rate seemed choppy. I don't know if that's how the game's performing, or that was just the trailer, or what. But it wasn't as smooth as I would want it to. But there's a lot going on screen. I just don't know if that's the reality of it. But other games are able to pull that off.
Right. Yeah. No, it was strange. That felt strange to me.
What'd you think of? There's a new one or a game that I didn't realize was happening, but it's coming out in fall. It's Allegia on PC and Switch. It's like
Didn't
that
care.
8-bit.
Yeah.
Really, that one
Didn't
looked
care.
really really dope.
I did agree with like the streamer I was watching. Is like this is definitely a like retro style game where I wish there were more pixels. It's too low res, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um,
I disagree. I mean, whatever it is, it's calling out to me the style that they're doing it. I guess you could argue there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games that are doing this, that are approaching this, and maybe it's kind of a I don't know. It's a crowded market, but something about it really really called out to me.
yeah, could be fun. But I also hate when they don't respect like the resolution, and when they're doing
Hmm.
that where you can have these weird like angled pixels or sub pixels. Um, always bugs me. But yeah, I think as a whole, that resolution on the artwork should have been higher. But the game,
Gotcha.
I don't know, it looks okay.
Yeah, you're a pixel purist. I think I found with some of the pixel art games.
Oh, it's
Pixel enthusiast, I guess you could call it.
you just got to do it right. Like just being low res doesn't, that's not an excuse for looking bad. Know what I mean?
Gotcha. I mean, I did find when I was watching the trailer, it was hard to kind of make sense of exactly what was going on. Like with your character, it's a lot of just kind of convoluted. It was a lot in one area, but
Yeah.
I still dug it. But I could tell like maybe it would be a different situation when you're playing and trying to figure out where your character is exactly. But you have this kind of slingshot blade mechanic that was dope. Yeah, I'm interested to try this. It comes out soon, fall 2020. So I think I might try this on Switch. I feel like this is a good Switch game.
Yeah. Yeah. They did show as well the one from Ronimo Games. I forget what that game is called.
There's Disc Room. Is that one of them?
No, well, I mean that's from young Wilhelm,
Okay.
who I love and will have his babies. Um, he's the guy that made Minute, so that's why I love him.
Oh, okay.
Blightbound.
Lightbound.
I'll put a quick put this just behind Oija. Put the
Okay,
link
gotcha.
right there for you.
Yep, I'm loading it up right now.
But yeah,
Power of
Blightbound.
technology.
I don't know. It almost reminds me of like a. It feels like someone took the concept of Castle Crashers, made it 3-player, but made that 3-player really intense. So, like a Diablo mixed with Castle Crashers, and it looks gorgeous. Ronimo Games is nothing but quality. So I think this game could be good.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I guess I did forget about this. I'm looking at footage now. It looks dope, and I guess I'm not the biggest fan of the Diablo style of gameplay,
Sure.
so maybe that's why kind of like I brushed it aside the way you looked at Allegia. But no, it looks solid. I don't know if I'll ever try this, but yeah, I didn't realize the pedigree and what that dev's known for either.
Right. Yeah. No, they made one of my favorite MOBAs called Awesome Knots, which is like a Saturday morning cartoon style. But the thing is, like, even when you're losing in Awesome Knots, you're still having fun, which is great because you can't say that about literally any other MOBA. If you're losing, the world sucks. But
Gotcha.
in Awesome Knots, you're still having fun. You're doing your thing.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that was basically it for Devolver Digital. I dug the whole announcement, the whole stream. I'm a big fan of what they do, and
Yeah.
I love how they're kind of created this market where I imagine now these devs that are on the fringe or creating these different experiences are seeking them out and vice versa because they're really developing this portfolio of just like the most unique stuff.
Sure. For a long time, I would say with them, because it's
Gotcha.
just one of those ones. If you're making this weird kind of game in their style, you definitely want to push it to them. We did kind of gloss over Shadow Warrior, though. Shadow Warrior 3
That's true.
kind of reminds me a bit more of Doom than Shadow Warrior 2, which I will happily take. I wasn't a huge fan of Shadow Warrior 2. To me, it felt like Destiny, but worse.
Mm.
So why would you play Destiny but worse? I don't even like Destiny.
That's the on the box art, Destiny but worse.
Yeah, yeah. So there was just too many options. It was kind of garbage, but yeah, it looked more like, yeah, it looks solid. So I hope it's good.
I did buy. It's on. It was a Steam sale. It's like $10 for Shadow Warrior 2, which I haven't played. So I did buy that, and this makes me think maybe I don't want to play it. But yeah, no. I mean,
Now you gotta play. Now you gotta play it. Also, it sounds like Lo Wang is back with his shitty jokes, which was definitely one of the worst parts of Shadow Warrior 2. Just
you mentioned that.
Fuck up, dude. That does not, just spouting jokes does not make a funny game. You gotta tie the whole thing together. So
no, I mean, you're right. I forgot to. We did gloss over it. The trailer showed off these really cool boss battles with these just interesting looking characters that you're fighting against, and that's what I'm really stoked for. It. I think it does look a bit more actiony or faster paced like a Doom, but it has this weird art style that's almost like a oh god, now I'm blanking on it. But there's a huge game in this style. But I love how cartoony and over the top it is, and very colorful. I'm definitely stoked to see what people think about it before I try it myself. But it's on my radar for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.